Hello, my name is Dominga and I'm a mother of multiples. And I am coming to you today to talk to you about traveling with infant twins. So hopefully this is something that interests you. If it does, please consider subscribing and then hit the bell so that way you're notified when I post other videos. But yes, we have twins, 2.5-year-old boys. And so what I want to do is talk to you about some things that we found out, some things I wish I would have known ahead of time, some things we found out as we've traveled, and some lessons learned. I'll also have a couple other things that I wish I would have known, and they're not going to be in any particular order. It's just things that we found along the way. So one of the first things we found out, and you'll probably want to know this before you start booking your reservations, is it doesn't matter whether you pick your seats or not. You and whoever you're going with will not be able to sit together in the exact same row. Now you may be able to be in the same row across the aisle from each other, but you can't be in the exact same three seats there. And the reason that is you have only so many masks that come down in the event of emergency for oxygen, right? And so if you have a lap child on you, they've placed you in a seating area that has an additional oxygen mask that comes down. You need to have one per person. So if you have too many people in that row, you're not going to have enough oxygen masks. So what we found, because there were times where we sat closer, there's sometimes that we sat on the other side of the airplane from each other. I have personally found that if we sit further away, it was better. And the reason that is my husband and I, when we sat close together, you know, the grass is always greener, right? In every situation. For the boys, they always felt that the other parent was the fun one to be with, right? Because who I'm with right now is making me sit down and stay still. So they always wanted to keep trading back and forth. Or the other one was crying and he kept his brother up. So we did personally find that sitting further away from each other where they could not see each other worked best for us. So just a FYI on that for you. Also, another thing I wish I would have known ahead of time, you can take as much liquids as you can when you have infants, because they can't tell you, you can't use something for bottles or whatever. Also, I took meal replacement shakes because I was nursing, and juice, and then of course water. And I was supplementing, so I took also powder, the formula, and then snacks and so forth. So the one thing I did want to make sure you knew that I did not know ahead of time is they do actually take those items and they put them under a special machine. That machine tests it to make sure that there's no particulates in there that shouldn't be, and making sure it's just juice and water and so forth. So I did not know that. And one of the times we were in a hurry, and guess what? They had to take the bag apart. And thinking through the next time around, I thought, well, hey, if they have to take that bag apart, what I did was I put all the food items, the juice, anything that needed to go in that machine in one bag. So as we were getting in line, that one bag had everything that needed to be investigated, okay? This way the rest of our bags could stay together. Then, once I got them from the security, then I went and separated into 2 bags, and I'll tell you why in a moment. That was just one of the things that I wish I would have known ahead of time, is 1, that I could actually take extra liquids, and 2, that they were going to be checked into, and so they had to check it out, so I needed to make sure that I packed my bag appropriately. And I knew where it was. Otherwise, you're digging through the bag looking for more items to see if there's anything else in there that you can't remember, because when you have infants, especially when you're traveling with multiples, you're squeezing stuff in every crevice because you need to get everything there. So just as an FYI. Now obviously, prior preparation prevents poor performance. Keep that in mind. So studying in advance, checking out your airline, different things like that. Also, another thing you want to keep in mind is the time of day that you're going to be traveling with your child. Is your child a morning child, a night child? If it's in the morning, will they sleep better? Or if it's at night, will they sleep better? Is it better during the midday? Because I found you want them sleeping. The tips that I have. 1, like I said, the first one is decide what works best for you and your family, for whether it's an AM or a PM trip. I feel that if it is an AM trip, like very, very early, they are so tired that they crash on the airplane. My husband likes it later on in the day after they're wide awake, They're not so fussy. So it really depends on the child and on your family. And you need to talk about it because you two may be on different pages when it comes to that. Number 2, I had no idea that how the boys were going to do when they were traveling, right? I don't know. Are they going to cry? Are they going to, be loud? Are they going to try to move around a lot? So what I did was I made little baggies for the people that sat around us. And that was one of the reasons why it was important. I knew that we were sitting far away from each other because now we have more people affected by how our children respond to this traveling, right? But I made little bags. You can either put this in like little zip bags, or you can put them in those little bags that they, for the parties. So what I did was I put a little sign, and I can't remember exactly what it said, but it had little thing 1 and thing 2 from Dr. Seuss, because that's what they were for their birthday. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Let me go ahead and put a little saying on there. And it said, hi, our names are Jonathan and Dionisio, and this is our first trip. Well, we hope we have a great trip. We please thank you for your patience in advance. And here's a little something to show you how much we appreciate your patience. Something along that line. And so I put some gum in there. I put a little pencil and some paper in there, and just a few things in there, some hard candies, some chocolates, because the person sitting next to you may not like chocolate. They may not like candy. So I figured I'd put a few different things in there. This way they have something to just know that I understand that the stress that some people may go through when they know that they're sitting next to a child. So, and I tell you what, that bought so many friends for us. Oh, don't worry about it. I've got grandkids. Oh, you find out everybody who has twins in their family and friends, right? So it opens up conversation. They're willing to help you a lot more. Oh, hey, let me know if you need to get anything from up top, or, they're just really, really understanding. And so I think I only had one person say no. She didn't take the baggie from me, but she still helped out, and she was still very receptive to our concerns for them, which I'll tell you what, the boys did a fantastic job, and I think that did help though. The next one, so that was number 2. Number 3, traveling light. Yeah, no, you might want to get rid of that idea. It's not going to happen. With twins, you really can't. The best thing you can do, you can travel a little bit lighter, like don't take all the diapers you need. You can buy at the store. Formula, snacks, obviously take enough in the event that you could possibly have an extended delay. So you want to take all that into consideration. But we did find that we didn't pack, if we were gone for a week, we weren't going to take a week's worth of diapers with us. We'd make it to the store and then get the rest of the items there. So that was about as light as we were going to be able to go. Number 4, take someone with you. Now I know you're probably thinking, take someone with me. I've already got my husband, my wife, whoever with me right now. A third person, we've already got a 1-to-1 ratio. Take someone with you. We took my cousin with us, and thankfully she already had twins herself, and she'd gone through this whole process before, so it was helpful for us. She knew exactly what needed to be done, when, and everything. So, but the reason I say that, even if you have to buy their ticket and pay for their entire trip, it doesn't matter. When you're traveling generally for 2 reasons, for business or pleasure. Either one, you don't want to be getting to your destination tired, upset, late, missing your connection flight or whatever. I will tell you what, it is well worth the cost to pay for someone's entire trip to be with you. Because it's just little things sometimes that they can assist with that make a huge difference. So definitely it's well worth it. Also, take extra outfits for you and the children for the airplane. Take extra outfits was number 5. The next one is splitting up the diaper bag, because you're not going to be able to sit together. So remember, we have all the foods and liquids in one bag when we're coming through the airport, okay? We are wearing our children, wearing like a sling or a carrier or whatever. So I'm getting all over the place. But when you split up the bag, all the food items, liquids are in one bag, right? When you get the items back from them, put them now into 2 separate bags. You should have 2 diaper bags, even if one isn't a full diaper bag. If one is just another carry-on, but you've got a changing pad, some wipes, and some diapers in there, and then you want to put some of your drinks and snacks and stuff in that bag too, because you are not sitting together. You don't want to have to go hunt the other person down to get some diapers so you can go in the back and change the child, right? So we did find that putting everything together the first go round, as soon as you get done with security, separate them and then take those bags. And use backpacks. Don't use diaper bags. If you use backpacks, that's one less thing to carry. So splitting those bags was very, very helpful. And then once again, like I said, in each of those bags have an extra outfit. Jammies are something very comfortable and very easy to put on. Also, start traveling before they're 2 years old. They are lap children. You do not have to buy a ticket for them if you don't want to. And this helps them get used to being in an airplane with you. And you're not going through all these things trying to figure everything out when it's costing you extra money too. So we've got a few trips in before the boys turn 2. Our Disney trip is actually going to be our next trip after, so we'll see how that goes. They're going to have their own seat and their own carry-on and everything. And the next one, I just want to make sure I've got everything here. Oh, and I talked a little bit about this one, wearing them in line. So if you've got a sling or if you've got a carrier, there's all different types of those items out there. They are so helpful. That gives you your hands free. They do not make you take the child off of you. So what we would do is we took our stroller. We had the children in the stroller. Once we got close to the line, especially if you're... Okay, so my light went out, had some technical difficulties, so I figured I'd have an intermission and spend some time with the
sat
kids.
back and just...
Okay, let's see. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Say hello, YouTube.
How shoot?
Oh, yes.
Dionisio, come here.
No, we're not playing on that. We don't play on that.
Come here. Time for another haircut, right? You ready for a haircut?
No.
No. Say hello, YouTube.
How do?
I didn't say hi, dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't fall. Wait a minute. You got to, if you get in front of the camera, you got to actually make an effort to say something. Hey, oh, tell everybody, say, I go potty
I'll put
on the toilet.
cheese.
Yes. Good job. But what we would do is we would put them in the stroller, especially if you're in a long line, so you don't want to have to carry them the entire time. Put them in the stroller. Once you get closer to the line and to the security, then you put them in your carrier. So I wore my carrier. Then I just took the child out of the stroller, put them in my carrier, held them, folded up the stroller, put everything away, put everything through, walk through, because once again, you don't have to take them off, and then put everything back, open up the stroller, put them in. And I'll tell you what, those little things, as we went along and figured out, okay, what's the best case for us, made a huge difference for us, both in the stress factor, because on the last trip we weren't stressed, and actually there was time when we were traveling just with us too, so, but we weren't stressed about anything because we didn't have to worry. We already knew our routine. And then the other two is have straps to hold either their favorite toy or their pacifier. So if your child uses a pacifier, we didn't always use these, but they have those little things that you can clip on and you put the pacifier at the end, and those are wonderful. We made sure we had that not only for their pacifier but also for one of their toys, and then that was the toy that they would actually play with on the plane. I didn't want to have to keep dropping it. And what we used, they have these things out there that you can put them on their bottle or their spoon so that it doesn't drop and fall onto the floor. So, and I apologize, I'll look up the name of those and put it in the description below. Also make sure you have passy wipes as well, because if for some reason it does, then you at least have that. Now this is one thing that some people may not agree with, and I'll tell you what, before I had twins I didn't either, but this one really helped us. And I know people call them leashes. I'm not sure exactly what the formal name, once again with this item I'll also mention in the description below, but we had where it's a wristband for each of us, and in between was a spiral connector. And we didn't have to use it in the airport, but I think it would be beneficial if you've got a long layover. But we did use it when we went to the aquarium. And the thing about that, it was dark in the aquarium. The boys were tired of being in their strollers constantly. With all the travel time and everywhere else we were going, they were always in their strollers, and they're going to get tired of it. And my fear was that they were going to run, because we have runners. They were going to run, get lost, or stolen. So while I did have some people look at me funny when I had my child connected to me by the wrists, I did not care, because I knew they were not going anywhere. And so we didn't use it for a very long time, but it was long enough that they could get out, they could play a little bit, and I did not have to stress about them running away in the dark, or at the airport if that's where I was going to use it. So that's something you may want to check into. There's different types. There's harnesses where you have the leash portion to it. There's also backpacks. We just got them some backpacks this time around, and it has a handle portion to that as well, so those are going to come in handy. And then one last thing too is a strap high chair. There are places that you're going to go to and there will not be high chairs, and these things take very little space. All you do is you strap them to an actual chair, and then you put the child on it and they get strapped to the chair too. So I literally could take both of those strapped high chairs in a teeny little portion of my bag, so it didn't take much space at all. I didn't have to carry around high chairs, booster chairs, anything like that. When traveling, you want to be as light as you can, and as we know that's not technically possible with twins, at least we were able to pack smaller. So I had 12 items in there. I apologize, I didn't count them all the way through. Some of them bled into the other, and so like I said, it's just things that we figured out that made a huge difference for us, and I hope that it helps you in your travels, because if you have less stress, you get to rest better, you're going to enjoy your trip and your family a lot more. So definitely, take whatever works for you, utilize it, have a safe trip, have fun, and I look forward to sharing more adventures of multiples with you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great one.